So part 2. They actually changed the name of the streets to Armenia Street in preparation of Armenian Town. But Marlene Murphy gets up on the 29th and says, well, they were always meant to be livable homes. She lied. They were never meant to be livable homes because they had no water or anything attached to it. You see? See what liars we have at the city? Well, in Miguel's case, he just found somebody that lies more than him. We have already filed for the public integrity on that dirty twat, trashy liar. It's not the first time she's lied, and Armenian Town isn't the first project that she has destroyed. The South Stadium is another one. But look at these weeds. You best believe this is going to go up in a fire. Oh yeah, these assholes. So again, my grandmother lived right here, across the way, right by the Appellate Court. Right there. Did the same thing to her. She cried her eyes out. They're taking my home again. I'm no home. Yeah, well, the first time it was done by Turkish gendarmes. They burn you out. They took you out by knife point or gun, or they would simply just kill you. And she watched her whole family get murdered. Luckily, she was young enough to run, and that was the last thing she remembered her grandmother saying to her, "Run, Repsime, run, run." And she ran, and she's seeing people dying, falling. She's stepping over dead bodies, and she made it through the Syrian desert so I could stand here today and fight back and say this is horse shit. And any of you Fresno people that are non-Armenian, you're gonna sit here and allow this fucking shit? You're stupid. This is your history. Look at this workmanship. Let the weeds come up on the sidewalks. Again, fire hazard. You watch. They take your money, they do something stupid, and then it burns down, and then you have to pay for it. And over here, same thing. Okay? The bakery over there is just turned 100 years old. This is your history, people. It's your history. Don't let them destroy it. Okay? Within 3 days of that 929 hearing that was a sham, very disappointed. The only one that defended us was Mark Carbasi. He says, put the skids on. We need to discuss this. The poor guy is in Armenia at the time, ironically. He was there with our medical mission. And Miguel says, no, we're going to vote on it, and we're going to do this right now. And surprisingly, Gary Bredefield went right along with it. Well, his excuse is, oh, well, I think the attorney said it was legal. An attorney, the city of Fresno's worth is about as much worth as a moron being the most intelligent person in a special needs class, okay? I mean, come on, really? Come on, Gary, you're not going to slip out of that one. You voted with Miguel. Don't act like you didn't. And they voted on it right then and there and stamped it. And within 3 days, they had these mobile units here starting their bullshit. So they had it all planned out. But look at these sidewalks, you guys. See where I'm going with this? How the city of Fresno is just, they're flakes. I mean, this is an embarrassment. So the bakery over here is 100 years old. Our church has a historical designation, a national historical designation. So the latest thing, I'm laughing and wheezing because I've got allergies. Miguel wants to change Ventura Avenue. He wants to go with Cesar Chavez. You know, all these homes taken out for what? It's illegal, I'm telling you. All the way from Kings Canyon through to Ventura West to California Avenue, which will go right into West Fresno, the jewel of Fresno County, that butts into Little Italy, Chinatown, which Miguel has let burn down, and the German Volga town, okay? So for those of you that don't know your history, maybe you should start learning it, you know, so you can protect it. We already lost one bakery over there that was 65 years old. And we're probably, this one I think is here to stay. They're not going anywhere. I mean, Dyer has come over here too with a contingency of people to recognize them for that. So the church is a National Historical Registry, would have to change the registry to reflect Cesar Chavez Lane or Boulevard or whatever he wants to call it. I think he wants to call it a boulevard or a highway, which I doubt if Caltrans would do it. And the head of legal at Caltrans is a nice Armenian man that I know. So we'll see about that. So yeah, that's Ventura Street right there. We're known as the Big Red Church at Ventura and M Street. So I guess we're going to be called the Big Red Church, Armenian Church with the National Historical Registry. It's on Cesar, Chavez, and M Street. We just put a new monument in for some of our local heroes that helped Armenians migrate to America. One of them was a gentleman by the name of George Mardiki. He lived his final years in San Francisco, but he's buried here at Ariat Cemetery, which also is a National Historical Registry. George Mardiki owned a famous restaurant, and he was the cook for Admiral Halsey. But his restaurant was called Omar Khayyam's. As a little girl, I got to meet him. He was very good friends with my dad's cousins that own Armand's Markets in San Francisco. You can see the stonework that Armenians do a great job. And bronze work too. If you've ever looked at these things, you should. ANCHA, Armenian National Committee to Aid Homeless Armenians. And some of those families live right here in Fresno. A lot of them who were encamped near Stuttgart, Germany. They were put in work camps, of course. And they were the best workers, got their way out and going. In 1953, George Mardiki was awarded the Medal of Freedom by President S. Truman. So we're not just history of Fresno, we are national history of this town, of our country. We are the beacon of hope for the new immigrants, that you might be slaughtered, you might be genocided out, but you know what, you can do it. You just got to keep moving forward, and you can do it. You can see Valley Bakery since 1922. So our hope is like what they did in Boston. There's a convention center. It's 2 block away. That we turn this into an Armenian town. And when they have their new citizenship ceremonies, we do like they do in Boston. They walk across the street to Heritage Park, and they walk over here, and we have a celebration for them with school kids signs saying you did it, congratulations becoming an American, good things like that. And they look around and they say, wow, these people did it, despite most of them being orphans. Okay, and those little orphans, let me get back to them. A lot of them had to buy property outside of Fresno because we weren't wanted in Fresno, so we ended up with a lot of farmland. Well, you gotta eat. And those little darlings had little seeds in their pocket from the homeland. So they turned this desert land into a world agricultural capital of the world. 1 out of every 5 jobs is agriculture. You have an Armenian to thank for that. And those seeds were things like the Armenius pruneus, the Armenian prune, the apricot, dates, figs, all those things that were indigenous to the areas we came from. What, you think they just poof popped up one day? No, sorry people. No, know your history, okay? Know your history before Miguel erases it all. And that's what's going to happen. So he wants to turn this Ventura Street into Cesar Chavez Boulevard, going right through the heart and the soul of Fresno County. All right? What we're proposing is that we take the Cesar Chavez School and we turn it into the street in front of it into Cesar Chavez Lane. We've got to always clean up after the homeless that urinate on our church. This is what we have to put up with. And Miguel don't care. I think he thinks it's funny. He hates Armenians anyway. Because we were farmers and we were successful. And we don't take his handouts. Okay? I kick this out to the curb. Get this trash out of here. One of my sheriff buddies over there. Just no respect. Vile filth is what he is. So the Jaguar place next door is the oldest independently owned Jaguar place in America. It's the Heron family that also had to change their name because of racism and bigotry of these people. That's next door. I have doctors that I know from up north that have Jaguars, and they go, I'm coming to town to get my car worked on. Want to go to lunch? And I go, yeah, where are you going? And they go, the Jaguar dealership downtown. They've taken care of me for years. And I thought, wow, what a great thing, huh? Good reputation. So that's it. This is part 2. But what Miguel did was illegal. Gary Bredefield is talking out of his ass. Okay? Oh, the legal department okayed it. They said it was okay. Really? Well, our legal people say it wasn't. Let's let a judge decide. And those homes, I am on record, right over there, those homes, I'm on record at the Historical Preservation Commission that they will never be low or high income housing. They will be what they were intended to be, which is historical resources. That's the terminology they use. I'll chain myself to those, and I know you Dashnauts that are listening, especially down in LA, be ready. You're going to come up and you're going to chain yourself with me to that fence. And Mr. Balderrama, if you're watching, Chief Balderrama, whoever, Sheriff Zanoni, my buddy, come arrest me. I don't care. I doubt if you will, but it might be kind of fun. And I have 2,000 others that'll do the same. Maybe we'll even chain ourselves to Miguel's smelly little apartment over there on our street. They used to be Armenian homes too, by the way. It's down the way from the First Presbyterian Armenian Church. He hates religion. He hates my culture. He hates my history. He hates me. He hates every other Armenian there is. Because we don't bow to him. We don't have to bow to him. No one has to bow to that little piece of crap from Mendota, who jumped the border when he was 2 with his mom. I think her name is Isabella. He didn't even become an American citizen until 2005. Okay? Yeah. He's a real jewel. These will never be affordable housing. He is not going to turn our history and our neighborhood into a barrios. Not going to happen, Miguel. We would just sooner see it burn up again. Okay? The other thing, too, is we no longer have a visitor center in Fresno because the historical water tower was turned into a Mexican restaurant called Frida Kahlo Cafe. Say what you want about Frida Kahlo. Great artist. Very far left-leaning. Very much proud of being a communist. And that will be changed, so the visitor center was kicked out. Okay? Kicked out. So we want the Vartanian Home, which is the oldest home west of the Santa Fe, built in 1891 for Hogavin, or Henry Vartanian, one of the first jewelers in Fresno that worked out of Hotel Fresno, which is going to be reopening in September. Okay, he had a little kiosk in there, and then he opened up a jewelry store on the outside of it, next door to it, and helped a lot of people get married and said, hey, I've got 5 kids. If you can't afford to pay for a ring, you grow fruit and vegetables. Bring me some fruit and vegetables. We'll work something out. See the white roses? My grandmother had a lot of those. She had a lot of wandering Jews, and I still have them. So, I could bring them cuttings, but I don't trust these people. I definitely don't trust Tom Richards. And the guy that works for him, his name is Scott Anderson, who's kind of overseeing this, and he'll try to buffer it out by saying, oh, I'm married to an Armenian. Dude, I don't care what Armenian trash you're married to, okay? It means nothing to us, all right? That doesn't mean you can go do what you want with our history and our property, and it's illegal anyway. So there you go. They are trying to restore some of these old post lights, and there's a guard over there, Romano, really good guy. You can see that the gardens are always well taken care of. We just have to keep the trashy animal zombies that are drugged out and mentally off out, because they will disrespect it. And that's it. He drives a Kia too. Okay, that's it, guys. It's about all. I hope you learned something, and I hope you learned that this is all illegal. No matter what Gary Bredefield or anybody else said, he knows he blew it. He blew it big time. Should have just abstained from the vote altogether if he wasn't sure. He's not backing out of saying he voted for it. He's only saying that, well, the attorney said it was okay. That ain't good enough, Gary, okay? He's my city councilman. It was very disappointing. But, you know, he likes to fight against gays and pro-abortion. While our interest rates and inflation is up and crime is up, I think he needs to choose his battles a little bit more wisely. It gets a little old. You're not going to get anywhere with a bunch of gay people that hate you. And he's not going to get anything done. They won't let him get anything done. See here, this is an older one. We're trying to repurpose it. We just have to keep these animals away from our property. Thank you. You guys take care. Bye.